In this video series, we're going to be covering the materials presented in the official Juniper study guides for the JNCIA JNO-102 exams. A link to those PDFs are in the description below. In this video, we're going to start out at Chapter 2 of the first Juniper study guide. First thing, as you're going to notice here, you're going to be asking, what is amnesiac? Right here. Well, amnesiac is the default device name for a Juniper device that has either been wiped and is running the factory configuration or is a brand new device. Since this device is amnesiac, there's currently only one logon account available. That account is root. So let's log in as root. So type in root and then press enter. Now the way the root account logs in is different than a non-root user. Upon logging into a Juniper device, as a root user, you're presented with a percent symbol like here. This is different than a non-root user. A non-root user will be presented with a greater than symbol like that. And now you may be asking, well, what is the percent symbol for? What this means is you're actually running at the FreeBSD level of Junos. Because remember, behind every Junos device is the FreeBSD operating system. To navigate out of FreeBSD and into Junos, we're going to type in the letters CLI and then press enter. You'll see now that it's turned into a greater than symbol. This is where a non-root user would automatically be placed. The greater than symbol indicates that you're now running at operational mode. Operational mode is used for troubleshooting and monitoring your Junos device or Juniper device. Now let's navigate into configuration mode. By typing in configure and pressing enter, you'll be placed in configuration mode, and this can be denoted by the pound symbol there. Configuration mode is used to configure all properties of Junos, including proper interfaces, protocols, user access, system hardware, and properties. Now let's go back to operational mode. It's really easy to go back, just type in exit. As you can see now, you're being presented with a greater than symbol. The reason you're seeing this up here is during my testing and some configuration stuff, I had some configuration changes from earlier that I didn't commit, so we'll go over that a little bit later, so don't worry about that right now. So as you can see now, again, we're back at operational mode. You can see that by the pound or by the greater than symbol. So let's dive into the various help syntaxes available in Junos. To know which commands are available at any time, just type in the question mark. You don't have to hit enter or anything, and then instantly, as soon as you type in the question mark, all the available help syntaxes, commands are going to come up. The question mark can even be used in pairing with other commands. So let's say I want to clear. I can type in question mark and I can go a little bit lower in the configuration. It'll show me all the options available under clear. And if you press Control C, that will also break and take you back to operational mode or configuration mode, wherever your actual command line was at. The next help syntax we're going to cover is the help topic. The help topic command is used for displaying usage guidelines for that command. Let's try the help topic command paired with the question mark command. So, help topic interfaces question mark. As you can now see, all these available commands are listed under interfaces. These are actual configurable commands that are under interfaces. Let's look at the topic now by using the following command, help topic interface address. You can now see a description of how to configure the address command under the interfaces. Now let's go over the help reference command. The help reference command is used to display a complete list of configurations for that command along with the description options. For this example, we're going to type in help reference interface address. As you can now see, you can see all the commands available, including their system hierarchies for configuring that interface address command. You may have also noticed, as a side note, how similar the help topic is to a Linux man page. If you haven't seen that before, I definitely recommend that you check that out. Very, very similar, but that draws into conclusion with FreeBSD and how similar it is to the Linux OS. The final help command we're going to go over is the help apropos command. The help apropos command displays the proper context for entering a command. Let me show you an example. We're going to go to Edit, System, Archive, Configuration. And then once we're under there, I'm going to do Help, Apropos, Archive. And as you can see here now, it's going to show the proper syntaxing or context for entering those. So set archive sites, and then it lists exactly what it does. Those are what are available under there for that command. The next we're going to talk about is the spacebar command. The spacebar, I'm sorry, not the command, but a shortcut more or less. With the spacebar, you're able to type in things. Instead of typing top here, let's just hit top and then space, or T and then space. As you can see, it auto-completes the word for me. And we're going to do a rollback 0 to clear that configuration out. And we're going to do an exit and an E and a space here now. And as you can see, I typed in E space, and these are saying that, I don't know which command you want, but these are the ones that are available that I can autocomplete. So with a couple more letters, it'll automatically close out then. The other command to go over is, the other shortcut is the tab command. You can use either the space bar or you can use the tab to complete commands. But the nice thing is with the tab is if any type of system variable that you've defined, you can use that to call it up. So if we're editing a security context or a firewall rule or anything of that nature, you're going to be able to go in and instead of having to go through and type all that out, you'll be able to call upon, let me show you here, the variables that you've configured. So I'm going to do show security address book global. And as you can see here, I have this set up here, this JNCIA test with that one IP address there. If I'm configuring security contexts or anything, which we're going to do later, instead of having to type this out, all I'm going to have to do is just type in JNCIA, or even less if there's nothing else that matches it, hit the tab button, and it's going to auto-complete it for me. Really good at saving a lot of time from stuff. The next command we're going to go over is how to turn off the spacebar completion. It's on by default. So we're going to go to set CLI, complete on space, and then we're going to change it to off. And as you can see here now, let's type in, let's do show space. See, it's not working anymore. So I'm going to hit the up arrow. The up arrow is going to let me recall the last couple of commands instead of having to retype everything. So now I'm going to go over here, type in on, and then enter. And now we'll do sh space. Now it's completing it again. The next section we're going to discuss is the keyboard navigation. As a side note, Junos devices do load the VT100 terminal by default. That means your arrow keys are going to function as they normally would. But if you're a fan of Emacs, this will also work. Control B, we'll do some, okay. So Control B will move your cursor back one. Control A will move you back to the beginning of the line, like so. Control F moves you to the right one character. Control E moves your cursor to the end of the line. Delete and backspace will delete your character one before the cursor, so as you can see there, and apparently delete doesn't work on mine. Control L will redraw the current line. And for some reason Emacs isn't working with that either. But Control P and Control N repeat the previous and next commands in the command history. So we'll do show configuration and do Control P. You gotta recall that last command. Same as what Control N would do. Escape D deletes the word to the right. So clear out a couple at a time there. Escape plus B moves the character back one with no delete. I'm sorry, it moves it back one word, not one character. Escape F will move the character forward with no delete also for the word. And thankfully that covers the whole Emacs section, because I know there's some people out there that really like to use Emacs, but I'll keep using my arrow keys. Next we're going to talk about pipes. And no, we're not talking about a certain copyrighted plumber either. If you're in either operational mode or configuration mode and you're using a command that displays output, you can change that output by using a pipe to modify it. For this example, we're going to use the following command here. We're going to do a show route and question mark. And as you can see here, we can do the destination. There we go, need one more space. So I could do a show route, and then I could do a save, and then I can name the file, as I've done here before. I did a test. So now that's actually saved a file it's actually saved a file out of there. So instead of showing that route, I've actually saved it for later. So I could do show file show test, and that's going to call up the file that I just saved here. As you can see here, we just have the one route which is rejecting here. And as you can see here, there's quite a few commands that you can use to modify your output. The unique thing about Junos is everything is hierarchical. So let's take a look at this example. We show OSPF interface. And OSPF is not running. So let's go to the top up here. Let's go to configuration. We'll go here. So what they're saying is so system, everything under here, how it's tabbed over here, is under the system command. And if we go farther down, so under the system command would be services, and then under services would be SSH, and that just keeps tiering down. And then you see under here, under HTTP, then it shows what VLANs are allowed to access. Let's talk configuration. In most vendor software, there's a couple out there, once you make your change, it commits it immediately to memory. So if you've screwed up, you're going to be driving to the office at 2 in the morning to fix it. But with Junos, there's a couple of things that are really going to save you. So we're going to go over those. When configuring Junos, there's two configuration files. There's the candidate configuration and the active configuration. The active configuration is the configuration that is currently running on your system. The candidate configuration is the one that you're changing. And these changes won't take effect until you type the words commit. Once you type commit, Junos is going to run a sanity check and make sure everything was good to go on there. Make sure everything that's required to be there will be there. It won't fix errors in your command, but it'll tell you if you're missing something that would have broken it. So if you have a misconfigured IP address or anything, it's not going to help you with that. Okay, so let's say that happened. You made a mistake, you've killed your VPN tunnel, and now you're driving to work at 2 in the morning, and you've got to figure out exactly what broke the configuration. Well, Juniper does have some recovery options available that are really going to streamline this for you. It's with the rollback command. The rollback command allows you to recall the last 50 configuration changes starting at 0. So it's 0 through 49 configuration changes. And you can recall them, and it'll take it and load that file from candidate into active, and then you're good to go. So let's use an example here. Let's do show system. And we can see the services right here. Let's remove telnet. We're going to delete system, services, telnet. I'm going to commit that change now. Okay, so it's now committed. Now let's say as soon as you do that, you get a call from somebody at NOC, and they're telling you, we have to have telnet for this reason. Well, crap. And let's say you made a bunch of other configuration changes too. To call that configuration back, we know it was the last one we did, so we're going to do rollback 1 and then enter. And now we're going to do a second commit, and that's going to recall that last configuration change. And a second here, we're going to take a look. It's going to show that it restored that telnet under system services. So now we do show system services, and as you can see, telnet's been restored. Another little configuration tool that's really nifty with Junos is the commit confirm command. Commit confirm is when you're working remotely, this is going to be the command that you will always want to use. Commit confirmed by default says if I've made I'll confirm the configuration, I'll take it and I'll commit it to memory and I'll make it the active configuration. But if I don't get a second commit within 10 minutes, it's going to roll my configuration back automatically for me and restore it. So let's do delete system services telnet, commit that change with the commit confirm, and automatically this is going to take it and say in 10 minutes, roll my config back. You can change that variable to, like if I put a 1 here, it's going to do it in 60 seconds. So I'm going to do commit confirm 1. And as you can see here, it says commit will be confirmed automatically rolled back within 1 minute unless it's confirmed. So now I need to issue a second commit. And that's going to tell rollback, I've accepted this, we're good to go on that configuration. So like I said, if you're working remotely, commit confirm is going to be an absolute saving grace to you. The other command within rollback is you can do a commit at command. Commit at command will specify a time that you would like that configuration changed at. So you could set, I want this to commit at 11 o'clock. Again, though, just be cautious with that command because, you break something, you're going to be back at the office at 2 or 3 in the morning. You can also add comments with your changes, so commit, comment, and you have to add the brackets in, though, when you do your commits. Otherwise, it won't accept it, so you definitely have to bracket in your comments in there. If you want to view pending commits, stuff that's just maybe the root administrator was in there, he made some changes and he didn't commit them to memory, you can do a show system commit, and that's going to show you any pending commits that are that could be in there. I don't have any running, so that's why it's not showing anything. Let's say you get in there and the new guy made some changes and he X'd out and you see some stuff in there and you don't really quite know what he did. You could run the following command: clear system and that'll go through and it'll cancel out any type of pending commits in there to help you not have a configuration screw up. You can also go through and modify the amount of configurations that your device can hold on flash. So you do set under set system max configurations on flash, and then you can modify that number 0 to 49. So you'd obviously have to lower that number if you wanted a lower number on there for some reason. As a side note, it's very important when you use that commit at a timer that your timer is correct. If your timer is incorrect, you could be committing at the wrong time. It could be an absolute mess. So definitely make sure your system times are correct. To commit your changes and return automatically to operational mode, use the following command of commit and quit. That's going to take you right out of configuration mode, and as soon as it's done taking that memory, it's going to drop you right back to operational mode. Now we're going to talk about locking the configuration to prevent other users from accessing it while you're in there. At the operational prompt, you're going to enter the following command: configure exclusive. And as you can see here, uncommitted changes will be discarded on exit. This locks the configuration to the user that's in there. No one else can go through there and make changes. It's yours. There's another one that partially locks the configuration, and that is the configure private command. And that allows each person that's editing their section to lock it for them. So let's say I was editing the host name, and then someone else from the network team was going in and they edited the host name also. They're going to get an error message when they do that commit, but if they issue another commit, it'll make that change. In my personal opinion, this is an awful, awful, awful command to use. Under any circumstances, this is just going to create a whole bunch of problems. I can't see a good reason for for using this command at all. Just save yourself the trouble, and if you need to do it, just do configure exclusive. So adding to the configuration can be done one of two ways. Either you can set the command, or you can actually go under edit under the hierarchy and set it. So let's do a show system, and let's do a edit system services. So now we're going to do set telnet and then enter and then commit, and it can only be done from the top, so we're going to go type in top to bring us up to the top of the configuration and then commit. So you can go under the system service itself if you want to get really granular to edit anything in there. And like I said, it's hierarchical, so you can dig down as low as you want, and then I'll give you an example here. So we'll do edit system services, and now we'll do a show command. So this is it. This is all you're seeing is just this fine granular information right here. Whereas if we were at the top and we did a show command, we'd be getting the whole configuration file. So now we can go through and do a delete system services telnet, and that's going to remove it. So instead of actually going into the granular level of the hierarchy, I said I want to delete something. I want to start at system. I want to navigate down to services, and then I want to delete telnet. You can also use the same thing with the set command, set system services telnet, because sometimes it's just faster to go in instead of going down and burying into the hierarchy, just to go through and just push that command through. So edit is a unique command, though. It's going to allow you to traverse the hierarchy of JNOs, and that is on the JNOs. That's part of the examination study guide if you're reading the book. But there's some other commands too that allows you to traverse the hierarchy, and the first command's up. The up command will take you up one level. So let's do edit system services. So we're under system services right now. We can do up. It's going to bring us up a level.